right, so I had the calendar to do, and then I was gonna, Christmas list, is that shareable?
I cannot do that right now. You can
Where
go,
did you put it?
it's the same list that we've used always. It just
Is
has,
it in the shared Google Drive? So
should be from years past, but yeah.
We have to stop meeting like this.
Hello. Someday we'll start meeting in person. Ah.
And I won't look like Oompa Loompa. Because I don't know, this light, because the light fixture I have makes it look like really.
Oh, but that just changed. Now you turned green. You were orange before.
Oh.
Did you change your light?
No.
That totally, as you were saying that and looking up, your whole light changed from orange to green.
That's weird.
Orangish to greenish. Hi, Karen.
Hi. Oh, I hope you weren't expecting more for the agenda. I actually was like, this is the time to kind of just.
I love that there's not much that we need to cover. I just was worried that there was going to be a lot to cover. And
you're right back.
Yeah, I think the priority is you have been our webmaster. I mean, really. And I'm so thankful that you've been okay with doing all that work. I mean, I didn't actually know who was going to have to do that, but if you don't mind doing it, I just, that's a lot.
Ideally at some point it would hand over to you and then you would do it. But if you don't feel comfortable with it, then, and Trish is learning how to do it. So it would be the two of you.
Yes, it is actually.
Later, not now.
Because I'm wondering how you're doing it all. I mean, this is a lot of work, and I mean, we just have
the communications piece too. I thought we were handing that off to Olga, and then she just said today actually that it was more work than she thought it was going to be, and so she doesn't want to do it. And I was like, oh, but then that's back to me.
Right. Maybe we have.
We're gonna start delegating. I mean, I know you're getting paid a lot of money.
Oh yes, I'm worth the big bucks over here.
However,
I mean, you absolutely are. And it's all volunteer. And then thank you so much, because we wouldn't have this. Like when I started thinking we need the website, no way did I think we're going to do a whole Zoom webinar for the whole year.
Well, but thank goodness we had started that process, and Carrie, that you had started that process, because imagine if we hadn't and we needed
we wouldn't have a platform where to put it or for people to find our information.
And gosh, it's such good information. So I'm excited. If anyone can go back, and the fact that it's recorded is also a godsend. So you might want to go first, Shari, and just try to go through those edits, because the time will be eaten up pretty quickly. And then, you know, the biography things are still kind of optional. Like we're just trying to.
Yeah, I feel like the biography is totally optional. Like, well, if we don't get to that this year, it doesn't really matter.
Yes.
So I feel like it's really getting through. And I went back today because I had made those notes a long time ago when I was first starting to do the updating. And a couple of them, I'm like, oh, I seem to have figured that out.
Yes, me too.
But then there's some others that I do still kind of need.
You know, you should have been a comp sci major. Did you know that?
I know, seriously. Man, that would have saved you a lot of money at law school.
But we need good lawyers. Oh my gosh, I love lawyers. I'm really grateful.
Nobody ever says I love lawyers. I'm not a lawyer anymore. Well, I mean, I haven't done law in a very long time. So
good lawyers, only good ones. Hi, Korene.
Hi, Korene.
Nice.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. Thank you for being here.
No problem.
Yeah, I wanted to say you've done so much, like little by little. So a lot of the things that I've asked you to do, I mean, I haven't had a problem with website or online or mobile, but I know we can start by just kind of hearing what you want to tell us, maybe right at the beginning, and then dive into any of the edits that, because Shari has really been picking up and doing it weekly, putting the webinar.
Yeah.
Have you seen? It's been really great. I'm just
I have. I've seen it, and you guys have actually caught the ball rolling and so forth, and you have a couple of speakers under your belt. So I'm here just to make sure I get any questions answered. I saw the agenda, and then getting the donation plug-in or so forth. I got a couple options for you guys, so you can add that as a feature if you want. So I don't have anything else. I think I just went off your agenda, Carrie, and that went from there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, Shari, maybe we'll go through the list then. And really the bios we were just talking is not even, we don't have to get to that if we don't get to it. We want to make sure that we get these details that Shari has on her list. And some of them she said she's already figured out. So
Okay.
let's go through it. I have a list.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen so that I can walk you through like, okay, this was what I was doing and here's the problem I ran into, or here's the question I have.
Okay.
So sharing screen, share, and I will, I've got these pictures in that. So now I will make my thing bigger. Okay. So this is my world and I go to Bluehost and I log in. And of course, sorry, I should have done this earlier because it's always such a slow process for logging in.
Yeah, it takes a while to get into Bluehost.
Yeah, it does. I guess you have to log in the host company to get to your website and then like log in there. There you go.
But once you're in, you can stay in forever.
So you're saying the speed of is
It's
it
normal.
this is the normal speed though? We shouldn't be expecting it to be any faster.
It can be. You have a login directly to your website, which I can turn on instead of having to go through Bluehost. It's just more secure that way.
You know, it's fine. I just am like, oh, do. I know that it's here. And then I try to take Janice's like, do 3 deep breaths. I'm just waiting.
It's good meditation while you're
Yeah.
watching screens.
Right. All right. So when I go into the calendar, I come over here to the calendar. I go to all events.
Mhm.
And then I'm looking at this like Rachel Korene's, and I went in today to edit it with the information that we had. And one of my questions was about indents and bullets, right? So I have her information here, and then I go and I put these bullets and I use the little indent thing to put them there. And when I go to preview changes, neither the indents nor the bullets show up.
Okay.
So
The indents. Okay. What you want to do is go back to the
yeah,
edit
so I'm going to
page.
close this out and come back here. Okay.
Can you just make that a little bit bigger, like a full screen? Thanks, I'm blind.
Okay, no problem.
I am too. I'm getting my glasses.
I'm working on my big giant desktop. And then I realized the other day when I was working with you, Trish, and we went down to my laptop, I was like, oh, everything's really small.
Yeah, really small.
Unless you have a big monitor, it's kind of hard to read. Okay, so I'm not saying you're going to use this, but sometimes people, you see the 2 tabs that has visual and text in the top right corner of the same box. It says here visual and text, which is, you see, there's a little bit up next to it. You have that 4 arrows square.
Wait,
Same
so
box.
I'm in the box with the text. I'm in this box.
Yes. Now you
And
see the
I'm coming back
toolbar.
here.
Now the toolbar, go all the way to the right. Keep going.
I see. Yep. Okay.
Okay, click on text. Now this is the coding. This is actually the text. You don't have to be intimidated by it. But I just wanted to say that sometimes it's just easier to see the actual text and not have it done visual. You have the word none in this, so it canceled out. So we're gonna show you how to fix that. Click on visual again.
Okay.
Now I want you to delete those dashes.
Okay.
And just delete the dots if you can.
Well, so I can delete the dots by I had bulleted it, so that would delete the dots here.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not, but now it's got this weird spacing, which it didn't have before.
Okay, so click on the text box, the tab again.
Yeah.
This is why visual sometimes has, like, you see it, you can easily just delete the space. The
Okay.
visual editor is sometimes a pain in the butt.
Aha.
Okay.
You know what? Hold on for just a moment. Let me just make sure that we are recording. Actually, I don't know that I can tell if we're recording.
Yeah, it says recording up at the top.
Because I'm sharing
it
my
does.
screen, I lose that piece of information. Okay, so we are recording.
Oh.
And then Trish, are you taking notes?
Yep.
Would you take
Yeah.
notes? Okay.
Okay. Now you see how the toolbar looks a little bit different. Now
Yeah.
it's shorthand, but it's the same tools you have in visual. It's just written shorthanded.
Okay.
So highlight the 1, 2, 3, 4 items you want,
Mhm.
and click on the UL. Means actually no.
That would be underline.
No, it's unlisted. That's probably what you selected on before. Do OL for officialist. Let's see here. Click on that.
Mhm.
Okay, and then go through each row and highlight the first one. That what it's doing is saying this is the official list. The OL is the whole section, so beginning to end of the list. Now you're selecting the first item and
Mhm.
click LI, which is the listed item, and then keep doing it for the next one. Listed item. Next one.
And I can't just click them all. I have to click them each individually.
See how it's just coding, but everything begins with a tag and ends with a tag, so the computer knows where you begin and end. So you have to highlight the line because you see how it's LI is the item.
Right. It would not be. Okay, I get that. Yeah.
It wouldn't recognize where to stop. Now
would-
click on the
right.
yeah.
Now
It
click
wouldn't
on
know where to
visual.
begin or stop. Yeah.
So
And
now I'm getting
that's-
numbers instead of bullets.
Okay, official list has something else. Okay, click on text. Actually, click on visual. You already have the code. You don't need to change it. Highlight and visual, the whole list, the 1, 2, 3, 4.
And
Now you
make
see
it
how,
bullet.
there you go. And then
Oh my
click
God.
on text one more time. I just want to see. Yeah, and delete the, you
This
see how
little
it
one?
says, no, the one next to it says OL. You don't want the one right there. Delete that.
This OL right here.
Yeah.
No, that's
you don't want
okay.
numbers. That's the official list, but it has accounting. And
Okay.
then you see above it says OL at the very top.
Yeah.
This is where it gets, I don't know why it has it. It has style none. So what we're going to do is delete OL again, which is a tag right there because we're not doing numbers. Delete. And then can you take out the word none? Just delete
Sure.
the word none. I don't know why that's there. I have to find in the back coding, but just delete it. Now click on visual.
I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get.
I was gonna say, I think at the end of the day, we just won't have bullets if this is what it takes.
No,
And
but
now
I
we've got
just,
this weird little bullet over here.
Yeah.
it's
Let
going
me,
to be hard for me to make notes for all these steps because it's like,
Yeah, I think
it's kind of
that-
hard to dictate how someone's driving because I have to see how it looks because there's short codes and so forth. Do you mind if I drive and I can look at the same post?
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah, please drive. Yeah. And
Yeah.
something like this, I think we might not, I mean, if we make a mistake in the code, that does mess things up quite a bit.
If there's not, so it seems to me like there's not an easy answer to this. I'm fine to leave things the way they were, which is we put a little dash down there and it just doesn't indent. Okay. It seemed like, well, why it should bullet and indent. It says it's going to bullet and indent.
right. Well, I
It's a
think that's the
very-
it
confusion.
should be easier. But hold on, let's see here. I have that
It's a good
here.
question because yeah, sometimes the back coding just kind
Yeah.
of tricks us and then we just do a workaround, which you did. So, but I think it's worth asking the question because this is kind of learning about what our website can and cannot do and how the coding was set. And so we have reasons now why we can't do it. And it's okay. But everything else is pretty good because it was kind of out of the box pre-made. So we just have to work with what we had. And about maybe 85% of it has been working fine for the edits that we wanted. So, but
So
these,
it was the Rachel code, but it's not that Rachel code. It's the Rachel code NOS that's down toward the bottom because that one doesn't have any content in it. Yeah. So you have to go back to the one there. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So this sometimes happens. And one thing about WordPress, even if you we never saved anything. So it went
Right.
back to the original one. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do this. It may have had the dashes.
Yeah,
I'm
I've
gonna
tried in the
pretend-
past. I took the dashes out because I thought, oh, I'll bullet it. I'll take the dashes out, but then the bullets didn't show up, so I put the dashes back in.
Let's see here. I'm going to see why it's not doing that. For some reason, and it's not anything you're doing, but see how it messes up the.
Yeah.
I'm going
The
to pretend
line
that
spacing.
you're. Yeah, let's pretend you're just writing at the beginning. So I'm just doing this as a quick test. Okay, this is what I have. You had already typed this up. I want to make this bullet. So I'm going to highlight all of it. And that doesn't work. So you're going to have to do each one
Highlight each
individually.
one.
Let's see if that works.
What are you clicking up there by the eye?
It's the bullet list.
Bullet list.
Isn't that what you did?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I
but
think she had taken a few things out first to see whether this would then work.
Yeah, and then let's do this. And I don't want to be. I'm gonna do numbers just to see if I can get it to, yeah. Goodness gracious. Spacing's adding up really
All right, I
weird.
think the easy answer on this is never mind.
Okay, yeah, because I honestly can code it myself, which you would look like this, but I don't want to teach you coding, but this is how it looks like if you code it. And I don't think you want to learn how to code it.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. So is it just going to be an end LI on the end of each of those lines and an end UL at the end?
Yep, that's it. And
All
then
right. I mean, I don't know. That I can do.
That you can do. Yes. Actually, this is
That's it.
actually
Let's
really good.
see. But at the end, it's supposed to have an end LI, not a LI, right? Ooh, but then look at what that did.
You know, coding is so cool. I mean, I've learned some coding and just I haven't done the WordPress coding because it's a whole new thing. But like knowing this much detail and understanding how it's supposed to look, I don't think I'll mess with it. But at least I can look in the back, like you said, Korene, and then you can kind of see how it was originally set. And I might be
Yeah.
able to know looking back in the back code to see if we can do this or we need help. And this is something that is a lot more complicated than we expected.
Yeah, it just, the coding is messing up for some reason.
Right, because even when you just did that simple bit, then it translated it into something completely different.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you should have revisions on here so you can go back if you need to. Why am I not finding it? I'm going to give it one more college try, and then let's see here. We didn't save it. May not be for the plugin.
So let's see.
See, this is why this is inserting. It's saying, please don't write any style. That's something our WordPress, like, why would I didn't type in do not write style? That
Right.
There's no way I would ever write that. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just fixing it really quick.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
This isn't visual, but I'll change it really quick. Sometimes this happens. It's really just a simple coding on the interface, but that's something you would not be able to do unless you want to code.
While you're working on this, I'm just wondering, Trish and Shari, you know, on the page of the current presentation, I wonder if we could just say the next presentation is, or because it looks like right in the big, when you look at it, it says we are currently hosting all events, and then it says missed it live, find our recordings below. And then then that's Rachel Codenaz, but she didn't even, that's not. So I feel like there's a line missing that says
Upcoming presentation.
Yeah, something like for the last meeting, find it in the recordings below, but then our next speaker should be kind of highlighted. What do you think? What do you think? It's
So you're talking about the
Translates-
verbiage at the beginning?
Yeah.
on the page that says current presentation. I'm okay with it if we don't change it, but just while we have Korene, we could.
I know well, I can make that change because I've been changing that all the time.
Okay. So
yeah, I've been changing that every presentation. And in fact, Trish just did it the last time. So
that's later and figure that out. Okay.
Yeah, that's easy to do.
That's just changing text.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, so it looks like just regular. You can use this as a template, but yeah, this works fine, but it translates to dashes automatically.
And it still doesn't
instead of
indent.
bullets.
So there's no reason that I didn't just use dashes and not bother with all that.
Yeah, and it's honestly, it's the interface. It's just like, I mean, it looks perfect in the view right here, but for some reason when it gets published, it doesn't look right. And I would have to go into
It is not worth it.
No.
Yeah, I would have to go into the editor and fix why these are not registering right.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That's okay. Yeah.
Well, it makes me feel better about the fact that it wasn't something weird that I was doing. I'm like,
No,
what? I
it
keep
wasn't.
putting in indents and bullets and it keeps not using them. Okay.
Here.
So I'm going to go back to driving if that's okay, because I can show you then what the next thing is on my list.
Do you want, it's okay if I save this by chance or?
Please. Yes, save it. What do you guys think? Save it, please, right?
Well, it was there before. it was fine the way it was before, but what we don't know now is how much of it got overwritten in the middle of this.
I just
That's
copied and
fine.
paste the text.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
mean, let's see here. There we go. Let's look at that. Hold on. I think the indentation messed it up.
Now it took off the dashes.
Oh no, I'm still refreshing.
Okay.
Dang it, still did. There we go. I'm gonna just update. I didn't delete any content. I just copied the bullet. But okay, I'll let you dry. I'm gonna stop sharing. There we go.
Okay, so I'm gonna share.
Did you, Shari, did you ask about, you said about the Elementor editing a page when you're done, how to get back?
Yeah, I'm
Did you
gonna
guys
get-
just skip to number
No.
2?
Well, I was doing things this morning and I just changed my order. Let me, oh, this is not what I need. Sorry, I seem to be missing my Chrome. Here we go. Okay. So, all right. So, one of my questions was, okay, when I'm done, well, let's see. So I'm here, I'm in the dashboard. If I wanted to go in and go to our site, now this is going to say leave site. That's
Yeah,
because
you
I didn't publish this, right? So that's fine.
That's correct.
I didn't end up publishing that. That's fine. Okay. So for instance, I want to come here and now say that I want to make the change that Carrie recommended. So I'm going to go into edit.
Edit page, not that edits the footer.
I click the edit with Elementor. Is that
Okay.
not, and that takes me
No,
to
no,
the-
that's right. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but no, it
Okay.
worked. Go ahead.
Okay. So one of my questions was how to get back out of this, but in the meantime, I'm here. So I think Carrie, what you were sort of saying is it doesn't really matter whether it's in this one.
I think maybe instead of current presentation, say upcoming presentation,
Here.
Upcoming.
because then you know, okay, this hasn't happened yet, maybe.
Okay. And then do you still think that I need another thing here, like our next presentation is?
We are currently hosting all events virtually. Live presentation will be held at 9:15.
I feel like you missed it live. Find our recordings below needs to be underneath the upcoming, maybe.
Yes. It needs to be under where the date and time are.
Aha. Okay. So let's take this out here and actually delete it there and come here and come over here and put it here and go there. But then I want to center it.
Yep.
And do I want to take this space out that's up here? It already did it.
That looks, yeah.
So let's take a look. Okay.
We are currently hosting all events virtually. Live presentation. Okay.
So I'm going to preview it and see what we think about the space. I think probably we should get rid of one of those spaces.
Yeah.
I just need one enter. Yeah.
That's good. Yep.
Let's preview.
You are a pro. Good job. Good job.
I know. Well, this is her full-time job.
Yeah. All right. That looks fine to me. What do you guys think?
Yes, better.
Looks
Thank
clean.
you.
Looks good.
Okay. Carrie, I think that was a really good point. And so now I will update. Okay. So then my question now for you, Korene, is, okay, I did that. I'm done. Now, if I wanted to go back to I thought if I wanted to go back to the dashboard that I would come up here and click exit to dashboard.
Or you say view page and you can get back to the website if you need to.
View page.
Well, how do you go? I think that's
Well,
your
it-
question, right? Shari, we
Yeah.
wanted to go to a different
That
page.
takes
to
me
edit.
back here. Yeah, I was sort of thinking like, how do I get back? Now what, but if I wanted to
Yeah,
do
click on
calendar
dashboard if you
edit, I
need.
would click on dashboard.
Correct.
Okay,
Also,
so it
when you're
was
in that,
view page, okay.
yeah, and when you clicked on the hamburger, which is the 3 lines,
Mhm.
add view page, goes to the website if you need to go find another page, but the one next to it says exit, go to dashboard. There's
Yeah,
also a button.
I'm going to go back to that, but that I feel like, so if I was editing, I'd have to be in the edit with Elementor, but it always gave me this message of like, you're leaving, and I was like, oh my God, I don't want to somehow crash our entire thing. So I just want to
Yeah.
do that. So
No,
if I
you
were
should be fine. If you
here-
updated it, you should be fine.
And then if I clicked exit to dashboard, then
You have to update it
and I
first,
end
then
up back
hit.
here and I go back, do I do that? And then I was like,
Yeah,
well,
click on back to WordPress. This is the,
and then I get this.
that's okay. You didn't save anything. There's nothing on here, so you can
Okay,
say
because it's
continue.
like your whole thing might break. And I was like, yeah, I don't want
That's if, yeah, don't worry about it because it's, if you see it back to WordPress editor, we don't use editor in WordPress, we use Elementor.
Okay.
So you're not breaking anything.
Although this is what's now showing
Oh,
up
wait.
when I click that.
Now click on edit to Elementor again. There we go. What you need to go back to is click on the W. Let's see if it,
Wow. Okay.
yeah, you're fine.
Okay,
Just click
I
on the
don't
three
really like
hamburger.
that. So I think, Trish, for the notes, here's what I think.
I know, I'm like,
We use the hamburger, we go to
Yeah.
view page.
okay,
That makes
hamburger.
me feel comfortable. And then if in view page, you can go to that top paired information network and go to the dashboard.
Yeah.
But you saved it first, right? First you updated the page
Yeah.
after you edit it.
Yeah,
So you edit, update, go to the hamburger.
yeah. Click view page instead of
page.
that dashboard. Yeah.
Did you click update for the change you just made to that
Here, I'll go
recent?
look. I did, but I'll go look and make sure that it's there. Yeah. So the Missed
Yeah,
It Live
okay.
is now. Carrie, that was a really good point. That Missed It Live was just in the wrong place.
Yep, looks good. Much
Yeah.
better.
Good.
All right. Okay, so that answers that question.
So when you when you clicked on that and you said the hamburger, then you did view page, then did you go to dashboard?
Well, it took me here, so it depends on what I want to do then. I can get back to the dashboard from up here if I wanted
it.
to. Like if I then wanted to go into the calendar, I would go to the dashboard and go into the calendar.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want, just the best way to going is anytime you edit a page in Elementor, go back to the page and go navigate to where you need to be.
Okay.
So that's just a better way of going about it.
And actually, I'm going to put myself back in there because, and this may just be a small point, but when I'm here and I put a link in, it does not make it blue and underlined. I have to manually make it blue and underlined, which I can do. I have been doing, but
I
it's
coded it.
weird.
So what does it look like when you do that? Let's see here. Can you add another link as just an example?
Yeah, let's just put so let's go here and add a link. And then I'm just going to say pinccsd.org, right? Oh, so no, it's doing it blue, but not underline.
I can make it underlined.
And then I've been going in and underlining it because I feel like that's the signal to most people that that's a link.
Blue is underline. It's
not?
both ways. It can be underlined or blue. Right now, most if you look, you read it. Most night we kind of went back on design for just blue because when you read URL lines, you read it in text. So if you're reading like a book or so forth, the blue is highlighted. I could put in the underline. I think I would. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think deal. Like. No, it actually is because of accessibility. Usually it's just blue, but if someone's colorblind, they can't see the blue and they don't know it's a link. So it needs to be underlined for accessibility issues. So, and that's just a quick fix with coding in the back.
So just now when you did that, Shari,
links needs to be underlined.
Yeah.
How did
so you have
how
it
did
right.
you end up making that blue?
Current style is
it
not
made
underlined,
it blue
but if you have
automatically,
people on the site
underline
that
it.
has
In the
vision
past,
problems
there was
or so
something
forth
that
to
didn't.
prevent you guys from being sued, it needs to be underlined.
Okay. So now it's going to
We
be
had this big
automatically
thing in my
blue.
company. Somebody was colorblind.
Okay. But Trish, for the future, if you need to be making something, if you need to change the color on the text, you come here to the text.
I'll put the coding in so you don't have to do this every time. But
it's only going to be effective if it's
you're
an
absolutely
actual
right.
link.
Underlined.
Okay. So that was that page. So that was really, those were my things because everything else I've kind of figured out how to do.
Let's go to the PayPal or donation then.
Although actually, Trish, let's ask the one question. It must again be some sort of back behind the scenes coding that we were trying to use the same format. Remember when we were trying to do that and then we couldn't get it to do it, and we just were like, fine, we'll just copy and paste. But now that we've asked these questions, I'm getting the sense that it's probably just that weird behind the scenes coding, and it's not worth trying to figure out. And it's better to just copy and paste.
Copy and paste and then just put in the new info.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Are you talking about the bullet points in this page versus the one in the events?
No.
No, these I did.
Yeah, because Elementor can do buttons, and that's where we edit any page. When the events is owned by a third-party plugin, so that's their busted side of coding, but Elementor is not. This is who we use, so that's why you see it here perfectly. But because you have the little edit box and all this other stuff, but the plugin we use for ME Calendar, it's not working.
So Korene, when you change it so that links are going to automatically now be blue and underlined, will it go back in and make these links underlined as well? Is it going to retroactively do everything that's a link, or is it only going to be going forward?
No, it does everything on the site. Think of it as a table. When you do coding, it's a table of contents. Anything that's a header needs to be black. Anything that is bullet point needs to have a circle. It's called a CSS list. It's just a table of contents, and I'll put down any hyperlink needs to be blue and underlined, and it changes the whole site.
Okay, great. So we don't have to, because yeah, obviously with these, I didn't put them in, but that was a lot. Well, putting in all of these handouts was a lot.
Okay, sorry about that. We had it blue, but underlining actually, if it's not picked up by the actual program we're using, it has to be personally coded. So we'll get that fixed.
So actually, before we go into the donation, I actually still think one of the questions that has come up is if we're able to put the flyer up anywhere in the website so we can just download a flyer. Is there anything that you guys think, like a place that we can put it? But
well, so Korene taught me how to put, I mean, all of these things that are up are handouts that I've uploaded to the website. So they're there now in a location that they can link to. So we can just put the flyer up as a piece of media. The question would be where would we link to it, and how do we tell people it's there?
Yeah,
I would make 2 suggestions, because I know the flyer is a lot of big production work and so forth. You can create we have a homepage. We can make a 1 row, within the line of priority that says, check out the most current flyer, and you update that link, or you put it under about. That's what I would put it under, because, flyers would be, you can have like current announcements and so forth under that. That would be my suggestion. Otherwise, if it's not attached in the navigation and not on the home page, it will be buried, because you would have to click on a page to get to the page to get to the page. So either we reference it or put it in the navigation.
Yeah, I don't know as a board if you want to do that, but I do feel one of the other things we want to do is if there's one place to click all the presentations, like every time I do the view detail, and then I can add it to my iCalendar, I have to go through each and every one. I just wonder if there's one way to just click and then they all come out. Like if you go to view calendar, is there a way to just click so that we don't have to go into each individual and just get it all? Like all of this is populated into my iCal?
You're talking about each one of the upcoming presents?
Yeah, because sometimes like when you're for school anyway, we click on something and we get all the events. Like we get all the meetings or all the games.
Gotcha. Without having to go through every single one?
Yeah, I don't know if that's possible, but if you're looking at this, Korene, do you see that possibility?
Let me check in with what we have. Is again, with every kind of like functionality in the site, it's by another company. We use Eliminator to edit the style. We use ME Calendar to organize the calendar. Let me read their guidebook, and there should be an export of all events, and then you can import it into iCal. That's probably what the school does. Considering this is nicely designed, they should have that option where you turn on, and then there is probably a button somewhere on the page that says export all.
Yeah.
into iCal or Outlook. Because currently right now, you're right, you would have to click on every single event and add it individually.
Yeah. So if that's possible, we want to be able to do that. If you wouldn't mind checking that and then that.
Yeah.
But besides that, those are the main things that I otherwise this is such a much improved website, I think. But Trish and Shari, was that your list, the end of your list?
That was the end
Yeah, well-
of my list. And I guess the question would just be, Korene, from watching me kind of navigate around, is there anything that you think like, oh, here's somebody new who's starting to update this kind of website. Here are some things that you should know. Like,
The only thing you should know is a question you actually brought up earlier, I think when last time we talked, was getting stats. Because you wanted to know, like, okay, we have these many people watch the video, but are they also reading the page? Are people coming to presentation and, like, Carrie was saying, getting the iCal and actually booking it? What you would need is called Jetpack. I talked to Bluehost, and it's actually part of every site, is that it's a program of doing all the stats, where if you click on dashboard, do parent information network, click on dashboard. Every time you click on dashboard and you log in, there is a giant box that will give you the latest. See how it says Jetpack?
yeah.
Yeah. Automatically puts it on the dashboard, so you don't even need to click on Jetpack. We don't have it installed right now, but it gives you a graph of, like, a bar graph of what is coming in, what's with numbers, what's been decreased, and then the top 10 pages, all of that. The most popular presentation event that was most viewed, things like that. The only thing is, and I don't know if you don't mind me driving, is that type of data mining is actually a cost to Bluehost. And that's with any hosting company, because they're scraping your site on a constant basis to get those numbers. But one thing about Bluehost, this is why I suggested them. One is that you already had it with Bluehost, is that they throw in free backup. So let's say you messed up the site where, and you can, right now I have it currently where you have to go into revisions and select the timestamp that you remembered what it currently looked like. But with Bluehost, they update the entire site, which is good. They do it every single day, because if you get hacked and they wipe out your data, you can actually bring it back online with a click of a button, or just chat Bluehost to say, please revert back to yesterday. It's up to you. It's like $29 for the year. It's not that expensive. For the backup, it's $99 for the year. It's what every hosting company costs to track your site and to back it up every day. If not, we have a backup system already, but you have to remember the exact time, the last time you did something, because you would have to click on the timestamp and hope that it kept all your changes on that timestamp. So, and that's free. That's what your site has already.
So given the frequency with which I know when I've updated, right? We've had a live presentation, and then within 24 hours, I have to go in and make sure that I put the video up and get it all done. So then I would just know, okay, the last time I updated was the day after the last presentation. So anytime between then and now, should be fine.
Yeah, because you guys don't do heavy traffic. You're not bloggers. You're not writing new articles every day. So I think you should be fine. If that's the case, then Jetpack would be $39 for just the tracking and getting the stats. Or you do Google Analytics, which is free, but it's not attached to your site. You would have to log into Google, click on Analytics, log in and pull the numbers yourself. So it's either one or the two.
Okay. And right now, to me, this is a back burner issue. I'm right.
Yeah.
I feel like I have enough on my plate with just updating everything and running the organization. We see how many people are attending our presentations, and we see how many people are watching the video by the YouTube stats. And so I don't know that I need to spend a lot of time figuring out how many people are
looking at which page,
visiting our website, but not actually doing more. But it's good to know in the background for the future, if we ever have somebody who decides that they want to dive into this, that's the answer. And we have that option, and $39 a year is totally manageable.
Okay, great.
Um,
Great. And then there was the other one. Oh, and then this was another one for, I was going to talk about donations. There's a couple options for that. And I can go through that. So let me, unless anybody has any more questions
So
on
actually, I
production.
realized that there was, Carrie, there was one other thing on my list, right? Which was that email question where if you sign up for the newsletter
Yeah.
one way, you get a different message than if you sign up for the newsletter a different way. So I tried to sign up.
Yes.
I thought that was resolved, but let me see.
Yeah, because I
From the
changed
Get Involved
pages.
page. On the Get Involved page, from the Get Involved page, it doesn't ask for your name. It's just an email. It doesn't confirm that the person has been signed up. And from the sign up on the homepage, it asks for email address and first and last name.
And then you
So
get a
there's two different
Oh, okay.
I
things
deleted
that are
one of them. Let's see here. Let's get involved. Okay, so this was the difference. I'll show you. The reason why is Get Involved has 3 options to get involved. It's not a sign up. So we have, this one is the one I changed it. I had newsletter. Let me actually go back to the homepage.
Where's that newsletter sign up?
Right now, let me just over here, sign up for the pin newsletter.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's
So on the
what I have.
homepage.
And when you click on it, I removed first name, last name, because I was directed that's not most important. It's just the email setup. So if I do this, test it. Thank you for setting up your stuff. Please check your inbox to confirm. This is all MailChimp. This one I had, this is when I get involved. This was something your previous site had, and we kind of talked about this, and we can change it up, but you can volunteer, get involved with the newsletter, or become a sponsor. So that's where we have the newsletter sign up is just an email also.
But so put it, yeah, so is that the same now? If you do the newsletter sign up, and if you do that and subscribe, because I had tried this before and it gave me a whole different message, but it seems now like they're both.
In sync.
Yeah, it's still
Okay.
a plug-in from Word MailChimp. So this is what MailChimp spits back out.
So
onto the page.
it's basically still though confirming that you subscribed.
Yes,
Well,
I
thank
do
you
want to
for
probably
subscribing.
say, yeah, this was from your old site. We can change the lingo. It's just a MailChimp, the tab on the side of in the dashboard. But I put in the last one, which was suggested by MailChimp, like you have to confirm it's a right email. So thank you for subscribing. Please check your inbox to confirm your email. Right here, we just have the short word, thank you for subscribing. Still gets them there, but let's see here. Let's see if we got this. Let's see.
So are you seeing the dashboard now? Because I'm not seeing it.
Oh, I'm not, I haven't clicked on it.
Okay.
Oh, you know what we're
So-
gonna have to do is add another, and just maybe review, Shari, if you feel there's no problem. It could be pretty easy. Just add another sponsor, because it's going to be Sandstone that we need to add to the website.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So once Sandstone pays, then we will need to get a graphic.
And just make sure. I think that's
Agreed.
pretty straightforward. That one won't be that hard.
No, because that's just like dropping a JPEG or a video or something in. Oh
And then
no,
we have to make
because
sure that they space out properly.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is your MailChimp list. Let's see. This is new forms. This is the coding, and these are 3 forms you had set up with MailChimp. So right now, email list 1,321. So click on that. First name, well, we do. We have it where in the form in MailChimp, you have first name and last name it's not required, but MailChimp collects them for you if you want those fields back. But the only thing that's required is an email address for MailChimp.
No,
But
it's
when you,
fine.
but
Oh,
when
sorry,
you
go ahead.
went in, Corene, you only put in your email. So where would
Yeah.
where would we get their first and last name?
I created fields for it, but I was instructed to delete it. I can put it back in. It's
I'm just wondering
an
because like if
option.
someone has an email that says Joe Schmo, but their name's really Mary Smith, we don't like, they're going to sign up for the newsletter, but if we need to contact them.
Either way works. This was more of a presence for you guys. I had it the original way with the first name, last name, and email. You had 2 types of forms, so we can add them back in for that example exactly. Also, it's great for MailChimp if you want to send out holiday cards. It says, "Dear so-and-so," you would need the first name and last name to actually create announcements.
But
So
probably we weren't collecting that previously, so the
Mm-mm.
vast majority of our database is not going to have it.
Correct.
Right.
Because this is a red star, so it was required. These 2 are, majority of that 1,321, probably 99% of it has no first
Aren't
name
gonna
or
have
last
it.
name.
Yeah.
So for the
Mm-mm.
volunteer part, it requires email, name, first and last name.
Correct. Let's double check on that.
Yes, it
With
does.
the
Well,
newsletter, it does not.
is not. So, so Shari and Trish, we could change it now. And going forward, do we want to collect also their name and last name, which might make sense because your email doesn't tell us that much about, it could be missing. Whether or not we want to use it later, I don't know, but at least we'd have a name and last name attached
First
to
and
it.
last name on the newsletter versus just an email.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
So
obviously not hard to add it. It's just we won't really be able to do much of anything if we don't update everyone else on the list who's already there. But, we could add it now. I
Yeah.
don't think anybody's going to mind giving us their name, and then,
Yeah,
going
for
forward, we
future.
have it.
Not to worry about the past, but just like going forward, any new people.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
So
and then all
those
you have to
fields-
do is basically click on where it's a red star to make it required, right?
I have to go into MailChimp and create those fields, and then it populates here because this right here is pulling from MailChimp.
Oh, got it.
So yeah, and so MailChimp, when you log in, it asks you what fields you want, and then it has a checkbox. Would you like to make this required or not?
Okay.
So
They're just making more and more work for you, Korene.
No, it just takes honestly, one thing about it, what MailChimp is really an interface. It takes me 5-10 minutes, depending on if I have to meditate while it loads. So I'm a very calm person. So,
I can tell. Send it my way, please.
just get into tech, you'll be fine. But we have that, so I add that as a list. So I'll check with I'm just going through my list, check with ME Calendar to see if we can have a download of the entire event.
Yep.
I do have to ask, Carrie, is your phone working, the iCal button? Because I have to check if they were supposed to fix it. Are
Yeah,
you able?
Yes.
It worked?
It's
Gosh,
been
okay,
great.
good.
Yeah, it's been great. And I hate to be more picky, but I feel like, wow, if I never had to add it and just had it one time, and I mean, it would just help parents or whoever if it's loaded for the rest of the year. And I don't know.
Yeah, all I did was email them. I said I emailed them. The iCal button wasn't working. They fixed it. I'll just email them and saying, hey, can you do a massive button? And that takes like 2 seconds to write that email.
Yeah. Who do you contact for that?
You just contact when you do this. This is what WordPress. Consider it like a like if you're designing a dress, or an outfit to a party. WordPress will get you there and make you have a great appearance to the world on your website. But sometimes your dress will be designed by somebody else, and sometimes your jacket's designed by somebody else, and your shoes are designed by somebody else. So this on the tab, it shows you who your designers are. This is your website. WordPress is the whole kind of platform, but Jetpack is a different company. The 7 is a different company. ME Calendar is a different company. I have to click on support and contact them. So I think of it like, your outfit. This will be my dress because this is my theme. Calendar is my jacket I'm wearing or my shoes. So when you hover over it, it tells you if it's a different company and who you can contact. But this is also for you. If anything happens, you can plugins. See how it says 24?
Yeah.
Instead of looking at the whole list, this is a just great way. If something ever happens, you're like, I don't know how to fix it. I have no clue. I click on plugins and it tells you, these are all your companies we work with. There's a lot of them, but some of them are free and so forth. But yeah, this is a company and it tells you who you can contact, view details, if anything breaks. ME calendar. This is the one we have active.
What is
Weeks.
ME versus iCal?
ME calendar is, imagine, like I said, the analogy of, your whole outfit. ME calendar makes it work with WordPress. They are the middleman that makes iCal, which is owned by Apple, work with your website. They are the middle person that creates the page for iCal. They collect also Outlook, Facebook, and all that stuff. They are the middleman that grabs all the social media channels and they convert it to WordPress. So you can add it on this one.
Got it.
So they're just the middleman. And if calendars break, you just, hover over it, click on support. There's a phone number or an email and you just contact them and tell them something breaks and they usually fix it. Because if it's broken for you, it's probably broken for every customer they have on WordPress that has that plugin. So.
Do we have to do anything about these plugins if you
No.
see? Okay.
The only thing for me is that, see how this is here? That's a good question. You see how there's new versions. I don't have it automatic. I can turn it automatic where these plugins update automatically with new coding. What's good coding is they do it because, just to be a long story short, it's hackers. Hackers always try to hack plugins so they can get into your website. If they can hack the middleman, they got keys to your website. So they're constantly updating so they can give you security. The plugins we have, you guys are not collecting financial records. Any contact information is MailChimp. So even if you're hacked, they're not going to get any information because anything that's important is with MailChimp. And that's a multi-million-dollar company that is locked down. So I don't have it updated because these plugins are different companies. If I click on updates, usually how developers do it, they wait until it's nighttime and they click on update every single one of them and check the site. So I'll click update, check the site, because if their coding is wrong by one bracket or one dot, it will bust the whole site. So you have to uninstall it, go back to the previous version, 4.17, it's 4.16, and then tell them their new version doesn't work. But you never do that in the middle of the day because your site could be down. So developers usually doesn't do it automatically because sometimes it works, but one plugin, one bad shoe will cause the whole site to crash.
So if you hit update now, I mean, so we would have to do those manually. How frequently are you supposed to update the plugins?
They do new versions usually. It depends on what the company is, but if every 3 months or 6 months is fine. Because
so you could, sorry, so if you clicked on update now and there was a problem, it would take down the entire site. Then
yeah,
you have
there's
to go
companies you can trust. Yeah, I'll do it right now. This company is really well known. And say it just clicks update and that's all you need to do.
This
and if
is
you
kind
click
of
here,
this is the normal maintenance of a webmaster, and
yeah, I do this for a lot of companies and see if it didn't bust. So I was like, oh, this is good. Okay, it didn't break. And then you go to the next one and then you click it, and then you check. And that's it. I honestly don't do it a lot. You do it only every 6 months because the small details just add up and then you can do one big sweep.
And
but
you
there's
would
a
click
list.
on the active as opposed to all because we're not using some, like say 15 of them, it looks like we're probably not using.
Good catch. Yeah. I don't do all this 37 because there's some free stuff that come with your WordPress. I just click on the active 22.
So
22 is nothing. Yeah.
Take the active plugins and every 6 months, just go down and update now, but do it, late at night so that.
Yeah. Or either that you guys are busy.
If we're only doing it every 6 months or so, presumably we're not the first ones doing it. So someone else will have the crash and
exactly
to the company, and then it should be fixed by the time we're getting around to it.
Another way of doing it, which might be worth the $39 for the year or $99 if you want the backup, is have it set to automatic. You have a backup. If you check the site's busted, just have Bluehost revert it back and then find out, have it fixed by either me, like for an hour to find out which plugin busted. But that scenario is a lot easier because that is rare. I think if you do it automatically and you have a backup, you probably won't have to worry about it for at least 3 years. Because if there's any, like you said, we'll just set the timer, have it automatically update all the plugins every 6 months. You don't have to even do anything. And if it does break the site, just have Bluehost revert it back the day before. No big deal. So that's why Bluehost wants that charge for $99 for the year, because they'll back it up. They'll do automatic updates for you, and you don't have to even think about it until there's a problem.
Right. So that's something we can talk about at the next board meeting.
Yeah, because 2022 is not bad. When I worked at the Denver Post, we had 159, and we actually had to order pizza and be there until 3 o'clock in the morning, clicking, checking, clicking, checking.
No.
Yeah. It drove me nuts. That's why I said common exterior is like, update now. I kept saying that for 3 days.
Well, this is really good. Just we're learning the inner workings of a webmaster, and it's good to learn this. But I don't know how long you're going to be working on this. Sorry, how long are all of us going to be here? Oh boy.
That's why I said, like, I'm giving you options. I wanted this site to be a little safe, but I try to pick plugins. Like Jetpack is owned by WordPress. MailChimp is a multi-million-dollar company. There's a lot. All these plugins are really like Google. Like, they're very well known. They're not going to bust your site, but I would pay the $99 to have it automatic, and you don't have to worry about it. And so you guys don't have to rely on trying to first schedule something's wrong, then trying to schedule something with me. It's so much easier if I can give you that option to make it hands-free. So let me know.
Explaining all of that so well. We have like about 5 minutes to get to the hour. So Shari and Trish, what do you want to do? Like, close for now or go forward with donation button? And how important is that donation button? Because truthfully, it is a little bit scary too. If this donation thing isn't right and it could get hacked, it's another layer of liability for Penn. But I just, it's up to you, Shari, if you want to feel it. I don't know how easy the idea to get a donation button is right now.
Very easy, depending on how you want to take payments. That's the only thing I was going to explain. And I was going to do the whole thing, what the difference is. But in the long run, and since we only have like 5 minutes, it really comes down to how you guys want to take payment. PayPal is very free. It's easy. You don't have to do anything. It's a plugin that by PayPal and so forth. But this is where your organization, PayPal won't send a tax ID if somebody needs to be proof that it's a donation. PayPal is just a blank like standard that's free. I did do some research, and usually like United Way, other charities use Give WP, which is Give WordPress. And it's because of the legality it has. One, you can create more payments than PayPal. They will take MasterCard, Visa, Discovery, PayPal, Vimeo. But that company, again, we're talking about middlemen. It's another adding to your outfit. It does come with fees, but what they do is track your payments. They will do all your transaction. They will put in a page automatically for your website and maintain it. And on top of that, they will email, they work with MailChimp and creating a template saying, thank you for your donation. And if you need to, that they show your nonprofit ID or tax ID to show you're legit. The company was created because of people collecting donations online and kind of getting into trouble if it doesn't look legit, and then someone calling saying, I didn't get an email confirming it. How do I know you're a nonprofit? There was no communication. So this whole service from beginning to end, when you take money, taking money, having 100 options besides PayPal, and then top of that tracking, and then also taxes. So, because they'd be easy right now. I mean, we have, which I'm just gonna have it right here.
Well, we
This is
actually
what it
have
looks like.
another layer to this, which is we can't take the donations ourselves. The donations have to go to the foundation, right? And that's not us.
Yeah.
And they would track it back to us. So we need to understand a little bit more, I think maybe from Bobby, about
How that money filters through over to the
that
foundation.
money, like if we go to the foundation, what does that look like? Because they're the ones actually taking the payment. We would just have a button that would take them to the foundation. But then once they're at the foundation, how do they say that the money goes to us? So I
Yeah.
think we need to do a little back end work on our end.
I think, yeah, and I agree because we might, it's easy to just put a link on there and say, please donate, which the link would then take them to the foundation. But then how does that, we need to, I agree. I think we need to talk
No,
to them.
we might be able to work with the Cherry Creek, the foundation, their website, however they collect money,
Yeah.
just have that link go directly to them, maybe something like that. And then maybe designate that it's because of for PIN or something. But yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
something to table for the next board meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, because this right now is what you have already in the template. This is, the 7. So this is what they have built out already. But if you can get the umbrella of the foundation where we can create a great page and just have the button and explain it, that would carry over a lot easier than trying to do, because it gets kind of tricky. People have complained that if they don't get the email confirmation, all that stuff, you guys will be contacted. And you don't want that. So
Well, and they can't make
The
it
other,
to us anyway, because we are not a
Yeah.
nonprofit. So it has to go to the foundation. So we
Right.
have to work on that end first.
Yeah.
and so my other question too is if we do decide to go with a donate or something like that, can we add another tab at the top, like where it's, about, it's the homepage,
Oh, yeah.
it's about, okay, so we can put another tab up there just for donate.
yeah, we can create a page. I would put it on the home page, and then and the navigation is really easy. Once you have a link, it's just simple. It's just adding text and a link anywhere you want to place on the site.
That sounds good. I think that's good then. And I'm still thinking of how and when to do the bio pages, but that'll be in the works maybe by the end of the year or so. But so far, I think that's great. Corene, have you been paid time?
Everything's up to
report?
date. I
Okay.
only have like 2 hours, an hour today, and then some quick edits, and that's it.
Okay.
So everything is good
Oh.
inventory wise, which I appreciate, but invoice wise, sorry,
Oh,
it's been
good.
late today.
I
So
know.
you guys are good. I mean, I'm not going to send Bruno or any guy or my cousin. So we're good.
I hope you, if you hear the recordings, I don't know. It seems really, I hope it helps you too. I don't know. It's spread the word. PIN, I feel, is really great, and I hope everyone can benefit. But yeah, we'll see. I have nothing else. If you guys have anything.
I'm
I don't have
good.
anything for Corene, but Carrie and Trish, if you have a moment, I would like to practice the graphic with multiples
Yeah.
Okay,
for the next one. So we can let Corene go. That's just a
Bye.
Zoom.
thank
Okay.
you so much.
Corene, thank
No
you so
problem.
much.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
So it was the question of, but you know what we're going to need to do? We need to be in webinar, not in meeting probably, right?
Yeah.
Although,
Do
because
that.
it doesn't make sense really to test it here, not knowing if it's going to do exactly the same thing in webinar.
Yeah, and I
so-
wanted to ask, did you know what happened? I was listening to the recording and I heard the Janice's thing sound didn't come on. Did we figure that out?
I did. It was such a simple thing. When you go to share your screen, there's a button at the bottom that you have to click that also shares your audio.
Got it. Okay.
But because I did the
Oh.
testing by myself, I didn't know
You
that.
don't know, right?
Because I always have my laptop on mute because otherwise I get this bad feedback thing, right? So yes, so
It was fine. I liked that it actually went right into the speaker anyway. So and then it kind of pointed back to go to the last one. So it was good. It all worked out well.
But yes, it was a very simple fix. It's just one that I didn't know at the time. All right, so I think what I need to do is end this and quickly create, but let me just see.
Another link.
I need to create a, whoop, I don't want this full screen. Yeah, I need to go in and create a webinar that you guys can access.
So do you want to jump off this? This is so, and we can end the
yeah, so what I
recording.
wanted to do was just come and look. So I can,
Share your
I can-
screen. Or
I
no,
can add one. I can just add a webinar to our existing, because I've learned how to do that. So I'm going to add one for now.
So it'll switch over from meeting to webinar?
No, I have to add it, and then I'm going to have to share that link with you. It is the link. Oh, but you know what? Actually, you can just go to the PIN website. Oh, and well, then you'll come in as an attendee. We don't want that.
I think whenever I hit the webinar, I mean, the website, I come in as a panelist because I'm already set up as a panelist. Should we test it out?
You know, I'm a little worried because I have the panelists for December 1. If I reschedule a brand new webinar right now, that they'll end up getting an email for it, and then they'll be like, wait, what's this webinar on November 17th? I don't want that. So I'm just going to create a totally different one.
Okay.
Test graphic right now, enable practice session and schedule. And then I'm going to invite you guys right now. Carrie, just remind me of your email address.
Carrie Lee Kim.
@gmail.com. CareyLeeKim @gmail.com.
And now Trish, and yours is
DEVIEUX2
okay. So both of you have just been added as panelists, and I'm going to start this webinar, but I'm going to have to shut down this first because it doesn't usually let me do two things at once. If somehow you don't have, so your link should be in your email address right now. Why don't actually, before I shut this down, why don't you check and see if that's there?
Okay. I don't, well, that's weird. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have it.
Oh, there it is. Panelist for test graphic.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to end this meeting and we'll all go into that webinar.
Got it.
Okay.
See you soon.